Theresa May defeated on calls to limit ECJ rule and second blow for Brexit talks. Jean-Claude Juncker refused to accept the Prime Minister's demands to limit the power of European judges to meddle in British law. Mrs May and the European Commission President reached a stalemate after the PM called for a 5-year limit on how long Brussels judges can rule over European citizens living in the UK. Under the agreement, Europeans' rights would be referred to the ECJ by Britain's Supreme Court on the advice of an independent ombudsman. According to the Sunday, it would also mean the ECJ's power would only apply to EU citizens who are in the UK before the Brexit date and not after. Brexit deal live, a British source told the newspaper. It wasn't just a row over the Irish border. Theresa also put her foot down on the ECJ. We are prepared to accept a remit for the court for what would only end up being a few small number of cases, but it cannot last forever. On a dramatic day in Brussels, Mrs May and Mr Juncker were involved in an extraordinary row over the future of the Irish border ahead of a crunch deadline next week. Standing side by side in Brussels following the end of yesterday's session, the Prime Minister and EU bureaucrat both insisted their talks had been constructive and had made progress. But an attempt to settle the issue of the future of the Irish border unraveled when the Democratic Unionist Party rejected proposals for regulatory alignment between Northern Ireland and the Irish Republic. Speaking about Mrs May's strategy across the negotiating table, Mr Juncker said, "I have to say that she's a tough negotiator, and not an easy one, and she's defending the point of view of Britain with all the energy we know she has." The pair are expected to meet again in the next few days to try to settle their outstanding disagreements in the hope that a summit of European leaders next week will allow the negotiations to progress to the second phase. Express.co.uk contacted the Department for Exiting the European Union for comment, but was referred to Mrs May's statement yesterday where she said, "Thank you very much, Jean-Claude. And as President Juncker has said, we have had a constructive meeting today. Both sides have been working hard, in good faith. We have been negotiating hard and a lot of progress has been made. And on many of the issues there is a common understanding. And it is clear crucially that we want to move forward together. But on a couple of issues some differences do remain which require further negotiation and consultation, and those will continue. But we will reconvene before the end of the week, and I am also confident that we will conclude this positively."